All right, round 3 is the clear mulligan. Unfortunately, I think this is a mulligan 2. This one's a bad keep. Bottom that. Well, at least my opponent's not doing anything. Sadly for us, we're just drawing a bunch of planes, which might just be the worst draw we could get. I guess more blue spells wouldn't be great, but at this point, I would take blue spells over planes. Well, ask and ye shall receive. All right, that's horrifically bad for us, but what can you do? All right, let's go to game 2. We're going to hopefully see both of our colors and play some spells. That would be so awesome if we could do that. Sideboard. Turn aside for Prey Upon. Probably not worth it. Just a win for Bounce. No. Convolute. Maybe. Probably not. Iron Rights Cleansing. No. So let's keep it the same and play some spells. The bane of my deck. Just draw a bunch of white mana. We're going to keep this hand. I'm refusing to accept that we can't find islands. Didn't we air towards islands too? I believe we did. In fact, I'm positive we did because we actually had blue mana sinks. All right, well, if I'm not going to draw an island, I'm glad I can draw something that I can actually do, or use rather. So no green mana from our opponent. I don't know if that's important or not. So I think we're just going to crack the Flyers rather than play a Perish Blade. Well, that's good news for us. There we go. Let me think about this. I could play the Angler. It's probably not worth it. I was thinking I can play the Angler and next turn emerge. If I draw a land, emerge off of my Gargoyle and then be able to flip my Angler, which is actually pretty good, but it assumes that I draw a land. All right, well, let's see if my opponent's got some Madness. They do not. All right, they really are just straight up missing the green mana, which I'm okay with. I like to see opponents get punished for running three color decks. Niblis. There's a tough one. All right. So we can play the Wretched Griff off the Gargoyle. And then flip our Angler. I kind of like that. Draw a card. Pass the turn. All right. So opponent is tapped out, which is pretty awesome for us. So we'll flip our Angler. So we can swing with Angler and Wretched Griff. Our opponent could double block the Angler. We'll kill the Niblis. That seems worth it. All right. Well, now we're just going to force them to attack. I think I was supposed to play the land there. All right. So opponent's deck looks pretty good. Like I said, it's odd. It's satisfying to see a 3-color deck get punished for making the 3-color decision, because I feel like that's been more of a rarity. And we've gotten punished too, right? Because we're running Certain Death, and that Estuary entered tap, so can be punishing too. So we can do Convolute on the draw. Seems a lot worse. It does like stop a lurker, sort of. Not as much as you want it to. I think we're running it back. I think this is the best we've got. All right, the game for all the marbles, and we got a mulligan. And we got to go to 5. What a sad, sad day. The old double mull to 5. All right. No white mana. Bottom that. Off to a pretty rocky start. Not going to lie. The double mull to 5 in match 3 is really never what you want. But that was a good draw. If we can draw white mana, this hand can actually do things. There you go. Okay. All right. Consider we mulled the 5. You can't really ask for too much better than a 2/3/4, especially when your 3 can do some protection too. All right. Scuttler. Actually, pretty good draw considering we have the Lab Brute. All right. We'll trade a card for a little bit of tempo. Ah, Niblis. Bummer. So we'll play the Brute. See what we mill. Certain Death. All right, so we can get that back with Scuttler now and eventually play it. Bummer. All right. Man, this is a bummer. All right. One white mana, sadly. So I guess we'll play Brute again. I mean, I can Scuttle now. Maybe that actually makes more sense. Haunter's not going to do much on this board. All right. We're running low on time, so... Not on the clock, I mean, just before we lose. So let's get the Scuttler to bring back our certain death. So we can at least deal with Niblis, because we're going to have to. All right. Land, please. Thank you. All right, so we can attack for 4. Opponent can crack back. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. I think we're going to chill. I don't want to go 3 for 4 when I'm behind, especially since I have a lot of flyers here. Okay. So we'll play Vessel. We can play Laboratory Brute a 3rd time, I guess. I think we're just gonna... Well, Brute doesn't keep the Bloodbriar at bay if my opponent's got the Lashweed Lurker, which they very well might. I think we'll... Huh. I think we'll pass. Because I can go Brute Shepherd next turn. I want to get a couple flyers online. I mean, any of my guys have to trade for either of these anyway. I mean, not the Bloodbriar, but I'm assuming my opponent's got a merge. We'll see. Yeah. Really didn't want to see the Lurker here, but what can you do? Mull to 5 is a costly, costly thing. So, I think we do Vessel. Problem is if I double block, I can't replay my Scuttler, which I need to immediately do. Just immediately. So, I think we're going to crack this, and I think we're just going to chump the Bloodbriar. Take 3. And then do I just die? I guess I just die, don't I? I just die, don't I? Because if I replay Scuttler off a Spirit, I'm at 8. Well, I guess I don't die then. If my opponent has anything, I die. Anything. I think I have to accept that. My only way back in this game is getting back certain death and casting it. And hoping they don't have a prey upon. Or I guess a prey upon wouldn't do it. I think we're dead, though, if my opponent's willing to do that. Maybe not. We'll see. I think we're probably dead to a trick, though, or something. Yeah, it's a bummer. Well, I mean, not out of it yet, but pretty close. Alright, so certain death's not going to do it. So we're dead on board as of now. So Angler plus Brute, no. Certain Death, no. Looks like a bunch of no's. So we're very dead. Bummer of a way to lose. Just a big bummer, but nothing you can do about necessary mulligans. So part of the game, got to accept it. I rolled 1 on the dice too many times and had to mulligan to 5 twice. So, yeah, never liked losing this way, but had to happen, I guess. So we're dead on board. We're tapped out. Just zero reason our opponent should be doing this. It's just a complete and utter waste of time. Multiple Ashweed Lurkers is pretty sweet. All right, that is the game. We'll see you back for the next one. Thanks, folks.